Let's turn our attention before we get to that to the Junior World Championship. Now, joining me in the studio, of course, is Julian Porter and Maciej Woda. Now, Maciej, tell me a little bit, first of all, about your role. We were just discussing it earlier. You're obviously part of M Sport Poland, but you were a big part of the juniors as well.
Yes, since 2017, M Sport Poland is pretty much fully responsible for running junior WRC program. So we are responsible for preparing the cars, for getting the drivers, for all the media side of it, and yes, it's pretty much everything in our hands now.
Okay, well, it's a fantastic initiative, which is basically finding the drivers of the future. So you're in the second round, and there is your crew all set out in front of us at the moment. That is all of the potential drivers of the future. So in Sweden, it was a battle of the Swedes. So tell us about that.
Yeah, and in France, it's a battle of Frenchmen. So I wonder who will be battling in Portugal, because we don't have any Portuguese drivers at this moment. So hopefully we'll get some. But yes, like you said, in Sweden we had Emily Bergqvist and Dennis Ratstrom who were fighting, and they were pretty much the class for themselves. There was Ken Thorne, who unfortunately finished the rally. Okay, he didn't finish rally earlier, but he had off and lost a lot of time. So he was out of the game. And then we had the French guys who were fighting for 4th and 5th. In the middle we had Julius Stannert from Germany, who had a very, very strong 3rd. And we came here and we've got the French guys fighting for the win, and they are pretty much the class for themselves at this moment. We've got Swedish guys who are 4th and 5th, and we've got Irish guy.
And we just saw my boy Tom out there as well.
Yes, and so yeah, to be honest, it's great battle. It's fantastic to watch that there are different winners, potentially winners on this event. So yeah, let's see how it goes this afternoon.
Okay, and as Julian knows more than anything, being in a system where you can potentially get drives of the future, it's very exciting, isn't it, Julian?
Yeah, it is, and it's so close as we're finding out, and there's a lot of superstars that have come through this, you know what I mean, Loebs, Ogier and things like that. But who's kind of standing out this weekend? Obviously the French guys are really pushing hard.
Yeah, the French guys are definitely pushing very, I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody's pushing hard, but they are definitely setting the fastest stage times at this moment. Callum Devine is showing very, very, good pace here as well. He's lying 3rd at this moment. But then the Swedish are not that slow, to be honest. Dennis Ratstrom, who was here last year, and he was really, really struggling. He's so much stronger this year. He came well prepared. And then we've got guys like Emilio Fernandez from Chile, who is, okay, he's not fighting for the win here, but he impresses us with his performance. We've got Dave Holder from New Zealand, who is, pushing there and trying to put some pressure. So there is a lot of battles. We're talking about the 2 Frenchmen fighting for the win, but there is a lot of battles there.
All the way down the pack, and it's a big pack as well, 14 cars out there.
It is 14 cars, and all 14 finished yesterday. All 14 so far finished sixth stage today, and I hope we'll have all of them at the end of the rally.
So for anybody that's not watching, Julian, they've just gone out as our cars have come in. They're heading out to stage 7.
Yeah, they're into that stage we've just been watching on the live, aren't they? And probably a stage which is a bit more tricky maybe for them, even though some of them might have done it last year.
I didn't hear that. No, I'm sure they will manage. I'm sure they will cope with the conditions they find there. Like I said, so far they proved that they are mature enough to keep the car on the road. Okay, with maybe few small incidents, but they can always happen.
Shakedown was more eventful than you wanted it to be.
It was one of them, yes, indeed. Yeah.
So you had 3 offs, everyone fine, everyone back on the road, but 3 offs in shakedown. It was probably a bit of nerves for the juniors.
Yeah, I would say scratches. It sounds better than offs,
all right,
but
all
yeah,
right.
I like that, scratches. That's nice.
So talking about sort of, the offs and shakedown, it must have been really intimidating. That stage 1 yesterday was a fierce stage for them to go out on, and it was tricky enough for some of our world champions.
Yeah, the really bad thing for them was that the stage has been stopped. So most of them, I think 10 crews were in the stage when they got the red flag, and obviously they had to abandon the competition. Yeah, on the second run, it was fair bit of the stage for those guys, and I spoke to them before the rally, and some of them were like, "Oh, God's sake, I only had 3 places of 160 meters." And
Well, I mean,
big
all
job
of the
for them.
footage we're seeing here, it's just constant corners, front-wheel drive, little turbo engines, tyre wear. They're having to manage all that. They're really having to learn a lot.
Yes, I have to say the tires are coping extremely well. Absolutely no issues with tire wear. For sure, they were having difficult conditions yesterday because they found the long stage being very, very dirty by the time they arrived. So yeah, I think it was a big lesson for them yesterday.
I think the whole thing's a big lesson because it's not just the stages. You're helping manage these crews between events and when they're on events as well.
Yes, indeed. And also something that I mentioned before is the stage points. Basically, for winning the stage, you're getting 1 point. So on this event, there is 12 extra points to be scored. And you need to push to get those. And you need to actually come with a tactic where you think it's worth pushing because of your overall result and because of your stage points. So you need to learn this everything, not just about bringing the result to the finish, but also pushing on certain stages where you can get the extra points.
Definitely. Well, within M Sport as well, you've got a couple of juniors running under your M Sport banner as well.
Yes, we've got Elfyn Evans, who was our WRC 2012 winner. WRC Academy 2012 winner. We have Pontus Wiedemann in the past, who is now in Skoda. We had Craig Breen, who is now with Citroën. So there was few drivers that came through our little fiestas, and they are now shining stars.
It just shows how effective it is.
Yes, indeed.
Malcolm called it, didn't it, the ladder of opportunity, or because you have R1, you have R2, then you had S2000, then R5. You can basically start in the juniors and make your way all the way up, and it's important because Malcolm is also watching as well, who has a manufacturer team.
Indeed. Okay, Nils Solans, who won the junior championship last year, he's now in R5 car under our tent. And he's fighting in WRC2, and he's now stepping up on this ladder, like you said. I think Elfyn Evans is an extremely good example of the guy going through this ladder. He was with us with WRC Academy, then he stepped up into R5 car in 2013 from the top of my head. Then he went into WRC car, then had to do a step back on the same ladder, okay, and then do a step up. So yeah, for sure, M Sport and Malcolm, himself is giving a lot of chances to the young drivers. And if you look, around this field, Oid Tanak went through Malcolm's hands, Jari-Matti Latvala. For sure, he's the guy that is. Yep.
He's got his fingers in a lot of pies, hasn't he, Malcolm?
Yeah, he has. He's definitely watching the young guys, and he's definitely looking for new stars.
Okay, so just moving away from the Junior Championship for a moment, this weekend is obviously vastly challenging for the World Rally Championship as a whole. Did you have your money on Loeb to take a win this weekend?
No.
Who did you have your money on?
Guess. Sebastian Ogier, obviously. Come on. You don't expect me to even come up with different answers, do you?
What he was going to say. Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great to have you in the studio.
All stages, all live. And with our interactive program guide, you'll never miss a thing. Anywhere, anytime. WRC Plus, all live.